Am I the a-hole for putting my neighbor on YouTube? So over the last year and a half, I've been dealing with neighbor harassing me every time I go in my backyard. Why? Because I decided to put up a wood privacy fence in my backyard on all three sides. Well, because I'm 70 years old, I have 3 little dogs and I would like privacy from all 3 of my neighbors. While I was building my fence last spring, my neighbor Larry decided he would come over and tell me not to put up the fence because he likes to look through into my yard. My son and I, while putting in the fence in that moment, laughed and said, "Well, Larry, this is not your property and well, I am putting up this fence." He said a few not so nice words and that was the end of it. Well, that's what I thought anyway. Immediately after, I'm trying to enjoy my new fenced-in yard. My idiot for a neighbor puts a stump right next to the back of the fence and stares over at me every time I'm in the backyard. He's retired or out of work, I'm really not sure, but he's really creeping me out. I believe he's trying to prove to me that my expensive fence doesn't work to provide privacy from him and that I should have listened to him. After a few weeks of my Larry staring over my fence, I of course said stop being a creep along with another few words, and that's really when the shush *** hits the fan. Now when I'm outside training my dogs I have 3 little mini schnauzers that I work with daily. He mimics me like a parrot and claps when I say good girl or come here or whatever it is. I try to ignore him and even tried to call the police. The police told me that there is nothing they could do if I didn't have evidence of harassment. This is when it really gets interesting. I decided to get 4 cameras in my backyard to catch his harassment. Obviously, Larry doesn't like that and has now begun to call me homosexual slanders. I'm not a homosexual man, but I really don't like being called those names when he sees me outside. Also, he had become so bad he was throwing glass into my yard along with I'm not sure what else, trying to, I would imagine, hurting my dogs, which is now really making me worried. I contacted the police, but they are now telling me there is still nothing they can do. So the only option I could think of to put the video evidence of everything he's been doing on YouTube. Let's say there's over 12 videos on YouTube and still going up daily. I told him he's on YouTube under my idiot neighbor in our last confrontation, and then he told me to come over and fight him. Am I the a-hole for taking it this far? I don't feel like I have a lot of other options right now. I've lived in this house for 15 years and we've never had a problem until this point. I really appreciate any feedback. Thanks.